Welcome into a special edition of the KSL Sports Front Page, powered by KSLSports.com. I'm your host and Utah Utes insider for KSLSports.com, Trevor Allen, and I am lucky enough to be joined today by two Utah football stars. This isn't going to be your ordinary conversation where we're going to be talking about football and all that stuff. Actually, we're not going to talk about football at all unless they bring it up. Of what I wanted to do in celebration of Black History Month, I want to be able to have an open dialogue to talk about the really important topics surrounding Black History Month and to be able to educate. And when I was tasked with this project, I mean, I loved it right away, but I thought about two guys, and I was lucky enough to get both of them on at the same time. We have Utah linebacker Devin Lloyd and Clark Phillips III, who is he's going into a sophomore year at cornerback. Fellas, how are you?
Great.
How are you doing?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate it. I know you guys are busy getting ready for spring ball and all that, but I wanted to just start out. So last year during the pandemic, and then there was a lot of social justice issues happening around the country, and you guys, both of you were kind of front and center of this, as well as a bunch of your teammates and also other competitors within Utah athletics. You guys led a march to Capitol Hill. And so first off, I just want to know what led to that and what was the message behind it?
Personally, I feel like it's just a representation of like what we can do when we come together. There was a lot of tension, during that time, just within the country, and I feel like me personally, I feel like the country was starting to become very divided. And, us at the University of Utah, we pride ourselves on, first of all, being diverse and creating a culture within that diversity. We're one of the most diverse teams in the nation. And we just wanted to show that you can, live, in different cultures and still get along and still be friends and still, we all have the same interests, and if you get to know somebody, you'd surprise yourself on, how much you do have in common. So it was just really getting everybody together, showing that you can come together as one. And, it was, like putting our stamp, I guess, for, the University of Utah. We wanted to represent the University of Utah in doing that.
Yeah, adding on to what Devin said, we saw the division, that was happening in the country, and we really wanted to keep that from happening, at the University of Utah. And I think it was a beautiful turnout, from all the athletics, just to see the unity piece of it.
So I know that was one of the things you guys have done, and I know that there are also other groups among the University of Utah as far as focusing on social justice and things along those lines. Are you guys a part of any of those groups, or is this more of, you guys are already a part of a group, which is Utah football, where you guys are teammates, you guys are brothers, and you guys lean on one another for more than just things you guys do on the field? And Clark, I'll start with you on that.
Great question. No, I definitely think that the team is somewhere where we feel like we're the most comfortable. It's all a family. That's what we pride ourselves on, as Devin said, just being unified as one. And, with everything that was going on at that time and with everything that's going on, I feel like this was the group that, the football team and then athletics as a whole that really expressed their gratitude and really just, growing together as a family and as one.
And Devin, as a captain, this last year, and you're obviously going to be one again this year. How has the leadership been as far as handling things like this with social justice and things along those lines?
I think they've been great, honestly, and I love this team so much just because of how close everyone is and how comfortable everyone is with each other, and to be able to talk about topics like this within one another and completely be comfortable with it. I'm a captain, but the only leader on this team. Clark is a leader. We have, our captains, of course, are leaders, but we have plenty of guys that aren't captains that are leaders as well. And I think that's what makes our team just so special. So, when it comes to stuff like this, it's just great. I feel like that we were able to, talk about things like this and, just not only talk about it, but also, make things happen. So
So Clark, you've been here just over a year now, and Devin, you've been here you're going on 5 years now, right?
Yeah, crazy. After this will be my 5th year, going into my 5th semester.
At least it isn't 18 compared to Britt and Covey, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
So Devin, I'll start with you on this. You have been here, going on 5 years. What do you want Utah fans and just people here in the state in general to know about your experience as a Black American, specifically your experiences here in this state?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, coming from California, San Diego, it was definitely, a culture shock when I first got here. But I came to love the people of Utah and just love Utah in general for all the beautiful things that it has to offer. And I've been here, in a defining time in my life, and it's helped me change my life for the better. And there's so much to be I guess you say thankful for, just for the people of Utah. Just first of all, accepting like all races. It feels like it feels like I've kind of come to feel comfortable being here, and it wasn't necessarily like that at first, but I've started realize that the people here are really nice, and the people really are genuinely do care about other races. And so yeah, I've definitely grown to be a lot more comfortable and loving and appreciative of the state of Utah.
Clark?
Yeah, I can say the same, and I feel like I've only been here a year so far, but I definitely can say the same and attest to what Devin said about just feeling comfortable with the people, and then learning. I'm still learning, but learning that even in the midst of this time, when there's a lot of different things going on in the world, that are causing us to have those uncomfortable conversations with our, teammates, coaches, friends. I think it's only going to make us stronger, and it's definitely made me a better person, and I think some of my friends as well.
And what about the coaching staff? I know that the way that they speak things into action is by going out and finding players from different cultures. I mean, you guys have mentioned this, and it's been mentioned widely among Utah football, is that how diverse it is. But when it comes to social justice issues, how has the coaching staff been with you guys and really trying to get out in front of this issue? Clark, I'll start with you on that.
Personally, it seems like they've been probably the best in terms of just taking the educational piece to another level, from starting with them. Coach Galley has really just been probably the biggest advocate in the rooms, in the defensive room, for just learning first and being, from an educational standpoint of just understanding the culture, and then teaching the guys the culture. He's had a couple of PowerPoints for us to watch, in our defensive meeting rooms. And then, of course, Coach Shaw and guys like that have made it a lot easier for guys to, I'd say, feel comfortable having those conversations in the room.
Devin?
Yeah, and building off what Claire was saying, just they've been really supportive ever since everything has started. Even when we initially brought up doing the march in the spring, they were supportive of that, and they've been supportive of us this entire time. And of course, Clark was talking about them teaching us and just informing us on just different cultural topics. I think they've been doing a great job, and it starts with Coach Galley, like you said, and but all the coaches, a part of the coaching staff, are really on board with everything that is coming with all this. So, I would definitely say they've been supportive, and I'm just grateful that they have been.
When you think of a Black History Month, what comes to mind, Devin?
I think when I think that, I just think it's the time that they put more emphasis, or that you should put more emphasis on just learning about Black history and understanding everything that's happened up to this point, basically from the time when we were enslaved, all the way up to this point. Just learning about the good and the bad. That everything that has come with the Black culture, because I think there's also been a lot of good that the Black culture has done for this country. And so, finding ways to acknowledge, how we got here and learn how we got here, and finding ways to improve, individually, like within your community, or just find ways to expand your knowledge and help others.
Clark?
Great question. I think about personally the leaders of different time periods and their respective time periods. Like, everyone can say Martin Luther King Jr. I think about Malcolm X. More recently, I think about guys like Colin Kaepernick that are going to be in history books, in years to come. But, and I also think about just the guys that are using their platform at the next level, to really just shed light and to, verbally educate people, of every race about, the problems of our nation, and then the things that we're doing good at and the things that are continually, gradually getting better as well. That's what I think about when I think about Black history.
You end up bringing up a really good point about utilizing platforms. You guys have one, being, even though you guys are in college, you guys aren't pros, but you guys have, a fan base. You guys have, a community who follows you and loves you guys, big time fanatics, and they all look up to you, even though they may be older than you and things like that. Do you guys feel like, especially when you guys chose to come to Utah, did you guys feel like you guys needed to really use that platform the way that you guys should have it, which is getting out in front and trying to create change?
Most definitely. I think initially, of course, I didn't think that everything like this was going to be happening when I was signing December 19th of last year. But definitely, looking back at things, I can say that it is a blessing to be able to be on this platform and to be able to use our voice for the good and, for change, especially. But it's encouraging, I can say, from a collegiate athlete to be able to see the pro players or pro guys use their platforms for the good, and it's definitely makes us feel more comfortable doing so as well.
Devin?
Yes, yeah, just like Clark was saying, I think it's a blessing that it comes with just being a good football player, and it's a responsibility that I accept 100%. I feel like it's a social responsibility to make my community better and try to help my community in any way that I can. And being a football player in this community, someone who has like you said, a platform that just enhances that social responsibility. And so I'm gonna do everything that I can to try and help others. Really, I mean, I love helping others, and so I feel like this right here is a topic, especially that this time, right now in this country, it needs to be emphasized, like more than anything, just learning about everything regarding like Black history as much as you can.
And then the final question for you guys, if just kind of a message out there for those who want to learn more about Black history, about social justice issues, and trying to create change and kind of the whole thing behind it, what would be a message to those who want to learn more?
I would say just first of all, follow your heart and just really find something that speaks to you personally, because there's multiple topics that you can find just in terms of just whatever it is that you may feel a type of way in terms of Black history. So just find whatever speaks to you and just try to just do something about it. You can read books. That's what I'd recommend, or watch movies and go on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of ways to learn about Black history. I just feel like it's on you ultimately, but it's whatever speaks to you.
Clark?
I'd say like communication. If you have a friend that understands a lot about Black history or a Black friend, that's perfect. Just talk to them. And then also, the Wikipedia and Google and all that different stuff. That's somewhere that I think we forget about a lot. We can get a lot from there. And, not that all of it's accurate, but for the most part, I think that it has some great information that we can all take from and compare notes. And, communication is probably the biggest thing, just talking and having those comfortable and uncomfortable conversations with colleagues, friends, coworkers, family, all of that.
I know that it's easy for me to be able to just start popping off a bunch of questions about spring ball and things about of that coming up, but you know what? There is a time and place for that, and this time is all about Black History Month and really trying to educate people. And I'm really thankful you guys carved out some time out of your busy schedules to be able to join me. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, and I appreciate you having us on here and being able to express our opinions about the Black history and just educate the people that are going to be watching this.
Yeah, like Clark said, really appreciate you, and letting us use our platform and, just allowing us to speak our piece. So I appreciate you.
Well, hopefully soon enough. And again, fingers crossed. They haven't really announced anything yet that we will have spring ball soon enough. But there's Devin Lloyd and Clark Phillips III joining me here on the KSL Sports front page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's powered by KSLSports.com.